Welcome guys to another episode of The Extra Mile. My name is Alex and it's very cold in here, so I will get going. This is the very first weight reduction episode of the C63 and we will start with the rear seats. I will explain every step that you have to do in detail, and when we're all done we will of course weigh the rear seats and see how much weight we have saved. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's get right into it. Alright, so the very first thing that we have to do is to get the rear bench out, and to do that we have to remove the clip in front. There's a little clip like that is just held in by pressure. You do need quite a little bit of force to get that out, so that's the first thing. Let's go to the other one as well. There we go. Alright, so the next part apparently is easy. Just kind of pushing and lifting the cushion to get it out. Let me see if I can. There you go. And that's it. Okay, so now I will have to check my trusted workshop manual to see what step number 2 is. And I'll be right back. Alright, step number 2, as it turns out, is pretty easy. Let me show you here on the passenger side. That little Torx bolt down there, that one, we will get that out. There's one on both sides, so let's go and do that. Alright, so now we have the bolt here removed on both sides, of course. The next step is a little bit weird because according to the manual that I've been following, there should be another bolt right here next to the belt buckle, but there isn't. So yeah, I'm a little bit confused by that. We will just continue with step number 3 and see what happens. So with the side panel now removed, you can see these two big bolts here which anchor this in place. So I will remove those next. They are on both sides, 2 of those, and then we will see what happens. I'm pretty much flying blind here at this point, but yeah, I think that should be a step in the right direction. We will see. Alright, so the good news is the seat is almost out. You can see that I can lift it up here on this side. The bad news is that there is still one more screw. Let me see if I can show that to you. There's still a screw down there. You can see that where I'm shining my light right now, and I have to get that out. Unfortunately, I can't get that out with those tools, so I have to drive back to the shop and get some different wrenches. So yeah, this should continue in a few minutes. Alright, new tools have been bought. I think I now have everything that I need. Okay, so it's pretty hard to reach this particular nut that I have to unbolt, so I will get rid of this now. Okay, that was easy. That is 2. All right. Oh, there we go. That was tough. All right. All right, so the first one is out, guys. Now for the second one. Okay, and here comes the second one. Man, it is cold in here. I wish I had a garage with a heater, but I don't. Okay, there it is. Alright, so progress is being made. Those 2 screws that I thought I could not find before, they are just down there. I don't know if you can see that focus. There we go. So I know what keeps the back seats in place. I have to unbolt those. The problem is I can only do that if I get rid of this piece, and I can't get to them otherwise. So I have to find a way to get rid of these clips here without breaking them. And yeah, that's the next step. The workshop manual just says to unclip this thing from this, but yeah, I will have to figure out how to do that. So yeah, that's the next step. Alright, progress. So let me see if you can see that. I've just used quite a bit of force actually to lift that thing up, and it's finally out. So I will now get to the other two. Then we should get to the last two screws. Finally get that thing out of here. Progress! Okay, this part is out. Weighs next to nothing. We might reinstall that again afterwards. We will see. So now, finally the last step is undoing those two bolts here. And then the rear seats should finally come out. That took a lot longer than I initially expected. But yeah, we're finally getting there. Okay, so that looks like 16 mil. Let's get the ratchet and let's get going. Oh no. Next problem is I have to remove the seat belt because it's in the way and it's very, very rigid. So no way of getting around that, but that's not a biggie. Let's do that. Alright, last thing that we have to do, you see that little cable that I'm shining my light on right now? That's going right there. We have to disconnect that. I assume that this is the sensor that tells... Oh wow, there's a dead bee down there. That tells the car if the seat is occupied or not. So we will have to disconnect that. And then, yeah, then we should be able to take out the seats finally and see how much they weigh. Alright, turns out that's pretty easy. I just checked the workshop manual again. As you can see, this is a regular pin that you can just pull out of there. It's at the side of the seat there, and just pull it out. So I will do this on the other side, and then we should finally be able to pull the whole thing out. Alright, there it is, guys. The moment of truth. Something... I see. We have the seat belt. Alright. Okay, next try. There we go. We did it! Oh my god. Alright, so the next thing that I will do is clean up inside of here a little bit. It's quite dirty. So while everything is out, I think that's a good idea, a good opportunity to just get a vacuum and clean things up. These I will then reinstall or just bolt them down, because I think they just look really nice and they weigh next to nothing, and yeah, I think that would be best. So yeah, let's get the vacuum out, clean up a little bit, and then we will weigh what we have removed, which is the best part. So yeah, let's get started. Alright, that looks better. So, last step would be reassemble everything that needs to be reassembled. We will bolt in the seat belts again, because I initially wanted to take them out, by the way, but according to German law you have to re-register your car to a two-seater if you don't have the seat belts. You can take the seats out, that's not a big deal, but you have to have the seat belts, so I can't take them out. I have to bolt those in again. And same goes for the side panels. And yeah, then we're done, and then we can get to weighing all of this stuff, which I'm really looking forward to. So yeah, let's do this. So just before you mentioned it in the comments, the bolts for the seat belts obviously should be torqued to spec, and I do have the torque figures in my workshop manual. However, I would have to take those out again if I were to reinstall the seats anyway, so I will now just bolt them down and not torque them to spec. But obviously if you intend to use these, you should pay attention to that. Alright guys, here we go. That was quite a bit more tricky than I thought. By the way, just so you know, my background on wrenching in cars is extremely limited. The most that I've done before was install a few cold air intakes here and there, change air filter, that kind of stuff. But I'm trying to learn, and we do have the workshop manual that tells us everything we have to do basically. Sometimes the steps are not self-explanatory, let's put it that way, but we managed. So let's start with the boring light stuff and see how much that weighs. Wow. And that weighs an impressive 600 grams, so that's 1 pound basically. But hey, a pound is a pound, I'll take it. I will not reinstall that. And the big stuff is yet to come. Next up, we have the little plastic piece that was behind of the rear seat. That is an impressive 0.9 kilos. It's getting better. And I mean, I know what you're thinking right now. How would you ever notice 2 kilos, or not even that, 1.5 kilos missing from the car? Of course you would notice it. Nobody would. But this process is not exactly, or not always, about taking huge lumps of weight at the same time out of the car, but many small steps will go a long way as well. And we're getting to the heavy stuff. So next up, it's getting a little bit more serious. We have the seats themselves, still not as heavy as the rear divider, but nice. 4.4 kilos. We are getting there. And now for the big one actually. Now we get to the rear seat divider. I think that is at least 15 kilos. It might be more. So let's see. Yeah, 17 kilos exactly. That is pretty damn sweet. So 17. So let me see. That brings today's total to 1.5, 18.5, 22.9 kilos that we've saved. 22.9 kilos, which is this many pounds. And yeah, that was fun. I like to wrench. I have fun doing that. I should have started a lot earlier with my cars actually. I was always a little bit too cautious. But yeah, as I said, I did a few cold air intakes, that kind of stuff, but nothing too serious. But yeah, this went pretty well. I think the next step in saving even more weight is we will get rid of all the carpet and everything in the trunk. That should be another 5 or 8 kilos or so. And yeah, we will do all kinds of stuff. Remove the rear sunshade, we will get rid of parts of the stereo system at least. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed watching, guys. I'm really looking forward to do more of this, and I'm especially looking forward to take the car on the track in summer. So I hope to see you in the next episode, and I hope you have a great day. Bye bye.